Hi, everyone. My name is Orlan. Um, I'm 48 years old and father of four wonderful kids, all grown up. Um, I'm creating this blog basically just to make a journal for myself and for my loved ones. I hope this serves also as you know, something of a record of some of things, my 2 cents on and opinions on some things, and you know every once in a while, and basically things that goes through my head. Um, I'm not making this as an excuse or a reason. In fact, this should not be as an excuse or a reason at any time. But I've been clinically diagnosed with severe mental depression. Um, I stepped in front of an incoming um, bus transit bus. Um, Spent, you know, here and there in different mental institution or, yeah, um, mental health institutions, mental wards, all around here in Toronto and also in Winnipeg. Um, yeah, basically, it's not an excuse. I can. It's not a justification. It's not a reason or excuse. But yeah, I hope this vlogs or journals that I want to create gives you like a first-hand account on what's going on with somebody's head going through this kind of you know situations. Yeah, recently, just last night, um, I had to go to the emergency hospital around 12 midnight this morning. I started having this awful stabbing pains, really awful, at my left side, lower left extremities. Couldn't bend, couldn't stand up properly, couldn't sit down properly. Whenever I'm sitting down, I have to sit down half a cheek, and the my left cheek had to be like almost dangling about. That I have to make my leg, almost like stretch it out. Yeah. Um. As you can see, I actually live alone. Um. Nobody. I just live alone here by myself. I talk to the four corners of my room. Now, the way that it goes is that when I was at the hospital this morning, basically, I tried reaching out to multiple people. Um, you know, basically just to get some validation. Because, you know, somebody with with a mental health in condition, just like myself, we tend to overthink things. We tend to constantly ask for validation. Which I know is a real pain. Honestly, it's a real pain. It's it's almost kind of like a big burden to the people around us. Um, Sometimes it we start to think that, you know, trying to involve people with our condition kind of becomes a big hassle for other people, our loved ones, our friends, our family, which we don't want you all to bear. That's why most of the time we tend to bear things to ourselves. But we tend to keep things to ourselves. We tend to bear this, burden by ourselves, just to avoid being a burden to everyone else. You know, people would say, like, I've heard many things. Many people would tell me, everything starts with yourself. Everything starts with yourself. Love yourself. Give importance to yourself. That is true. That is true. But it's so hard so hard to put importance to ourselves for people with, for people like us. We we tend honestly we tend to put our feelings less priority. And most of the time, that's the reason why we we start thinking, we start feeling that, you know, we're not the we're not the priority. We're not anyone's priority. We're not we're not your priority. We're not and we will never be your priorities. Those are the things that we tend to start to think. You know, I've heard people tell me that, you know, all these battles, all the struggles. I've heard this so many times as well. All these battles, all these struggles. Basically, God has put his trusted and worthy soldiers with the toughest battles and toughest struggles. Because he believes that, you know, it's something for us to grow in, up, or gain learn something, and we are the trusted ones that we knows that we can do it. We know he knows that we could go above and beyond and conquer all those struggles and all those battles. At one time, I started feeling, I started thinking, what if I don't want to be a soldier anymore? What if I don't want to? What if I don't want these battles anymore? Earlier today, I started thinking that my mind started going to that dark place again. I started thinking, I'm not important to people. I'm not I'm not anyone's priority. I'm not anyone's important person. I'm a nobody to everyone. To the people I know, I'm just a nobody. Those are the things that I try to suppress as much as I can. It's sometimes it's just too hard though. Yeah. One of the things that I'm so afraid of in myself is that when I start to become quiet, when I start to isolate, earlier today, I almost did that. I disabled I deactivated my Facebook. Um I turned on my airplane I switched on my airplane mode on my phone. It's just sometimes they get too much. That this you know that this dark thoughts starts to turn its head around and starts to creep back into your life. That honestly, I thought about ending everything this afternoon. I thought about it. I actually walked from the emergency hospital, the ER hospital. From the hospital, started walking. Started trying to walk north, going to the 407, Warden at 407. Then the dark thought came. As soon as I get to the 407, I'll freaking jump over. You're so bad though. Because last night, I never felt so alone. I felt that nobody cared. Nobody called to check up on me. How was I doing? Are you still alive? Are you half dead? Are you dead? Nobody did. You know. Like what I said at the beginning. I'm not making excuses. I'm not trying to make it as a reason or an excuse. The first time I did it, people called me a coward. There's some people who even, you know, put me down that the way I was thinking was you know, the coward's way out. Honestly, I'm not sure anymore. Maybe I am a coward. People don't, you know, they still think that mental health issues or depression is just a figment of the imagination. They don't believe it. It's just it's a made up story, boogeyman story. Keep kids at night. Keep kids awake at night. Depression is real. I've seen it firsthand, experienced it firsthand. It's hard if you don't understand it. At first, I didn't. It's hard. It's hard to make odds and evens in between what's going on in a person with depressions. Yeah, and you have to be. Yeah. Right now, I still feel the same way. Excuse me. Still feel the same way. Still think I'm worthless. I still think that I'm no one's priority. And still think that I will never be someone's priority. And I will never be somebody's important person. I will never be important to somebody. People tend to brush off what they don't understand. Again, I'm not making excuses. I'm not making it a reason. So this would be my first entry on the journal, or this video journal, or video vlog journal. Hmm. I just hope that I'll be able to overcome the struggles, to overcome this one day. Like, here's my meds for the depression. Here's my meds for blood pressure, high blood pressure. Oh yeah, that's another thing. Yeah. Just the reason why I was in the hospital is because I felt those stabbing pains in the my lower left extremities, as well as the front and the back. It's like stabbing between. Turns out the kidney stone got stuck in there, like it's blocking my kidney. And then during that time, since I wasn't able to drink my meds last night because of the situation, my blood pressure skyrocketed. 170 over 140, 180 over 140, 165 over 113. Should I go on and on? That's basically it. That's it. One of my indicators that I know that my blood pressure is high is that my nose would start bleeding. And earlier this morning when I was in the hospital, I suddenly felt my nose was bleeding. And I asked them to check my BP, and they did. It was 170 over 140. It was that high. Felt nauseated, dizzy, numbness, tingling on my left arm. Yeah, that's the thing though. I've been feeling all these symptoms for months and months and months now. I even have a cardiologist at One Heart Care. Shout out to One Heart Care. And not paid advertisement though. I'd done all the tests, stress test, CT scan, MRI, ECG, whatever. And all they see is normal. They couldn't see anything at all that would have caused my high blood pressure or my nose bleeding or my chest pains. Couldn't say. The only thing that they was able to say or tell me that there was a slight enlargement and a slight mass in my lungs and needs to get checked soon. But other than that, all my lab tests were normal. Blood work, urine, everything was normal. And that's what scares me as well. Everything's normal, but I feel this pain. Everything's normal, but I feel this ache in my chest. And I know I'm not okay. hard. I, honestly, I do believe, and I do believe I'm still important to my kids. I'm still important to my loved ones. I'm still important to my family. It's just it's so hard to control these kinds of thoughts. You overthink, you doubt, you overdoubt. You doubt yourself. You doubt the other people around you, and then you start, you know, there's a little bit of selfishness in there as well. Now you only think about yourself. You only think about what you're going through. And that people really don't understand you. Well, this is my first journal for today. This is my first journal. Again, this is Erlan saying hello. Welcome to this channel. Welcome to my journal. Have a great night, everyone.